I was driving back from Emerald Bay and I came to this spot, Inspiration Point, here over Emerald Bay, and I thought, why not stop and give you a view. It says, welcome to Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe's scenic beauty draws millions of visitors. Here are some facts about this valuable and fragile resource. There are over 39 trillion gallons of water in Lake Tahoe. This volume of water could cover an area the size of California with 14 inches of water. Tahoe is so clear that in some places objects can be seen clearly 67 feet below the surface. 63 streams flow into Lake Tahoe. Only one, the Truckee River, flows out into Pyramid Lake. Unlike most bodies of water in North America, the lake's water never reaches the ocean. Tahoe's surface temperature can reach 68 degrees during the summer, but at depths below 600 feet, the water remains a chilly 39 degrees. Its extreme depth keeps the water in motion. The warmer surface constantly mixes with the colder water below, which prevents the lake from freezing. And here you have the map of the lake right there. So this is Inspiration Point. We'll see what inspiration I can draw from it. You hear dialects from all around the world when you're visiting a place. I believe this might be an Italian family right here. Here's a nice bit of information. Tahoe steamer age. Look at that. With only a few rough roads connecting the remote settlements on the lake, boats provided the best means of transportation. It wasn't long before large commercial steamboats took to the waters, with fanciful names like Iron Duke, Minnie Moody, and Meteor. These wood-burning steamboats towed lumber to sawmills and ferried passengers and mail to the growing number of lakeside resorts. One steamer, the Tahoe, became famous for its moonlight excursions where the rich and famous danced until dawn. Known as the Queen of the Lake, the slim and graceful steamer was launched in 1896. Able to carry 200 passengers, the Tahoe sported a private dining room and elegant furnishings of mahogany, brass, and leather. Look at that. So here is a beautiful view. Look at that. It's too bad I can't somehow or another magically transpose or send the smell of the forest along with the video. See large pine cones hanging from that tree right there. This is definitely a place that you could come and spend the better part of a week or so. Eagles to the Emeralds. Look across the bay. From this viewpoint you can see the mouth of Emerald Bay. A photo gem, one of the most photographed vistas at Lake Tahoe. Emerald Bay is 3 miles long and 1 mile wide. In the 1860s, bald eagle soaring above the water inspired the bay's first name, Eagle Bay. Now the gem-like green-blue water gives the inlet its current name, Emerald Bay. At the head of the bay, Eagle Falls still pays tribute to the bay's majestic birds of prey. The waterfall cascades with rushing water during the spring and snowmelt, and slows to a trickle during the summer months. Here's a sign. Tahoe by car, automotive adventures. Will you look at that? Imagine what an adventure it must have been for Tahoe's early motorists traveling in open-air Model Ts and Oldsmobiles. Vacationers began driving as roads connected the lake's recreation spots. Completed in 1913, a rough road around Emerald Bay linked Tahoe's south and west shores. Today the road is known as Highway 89. Workers spent months dynamiting the route out of granite to complete the road. A popular steamer excursion brought vacationers to the bay to witness the rocks being blasted hundreds of feet in the air. Look at how beautiful that is. And here is Vikings Home, a Scandinavian castle. You look at how beautiful that is. A summer retreat, because Emerald Bay reminded her of a fjord in Norway. Laura J.M. Knight purchased 200 acres here in 1928 for $250,000. She commissioned her architect, nephew, to design a summer home that combined the features of the Scandinavian castles and churches. Over 200 workers toiled during one season to complete Vikings Home in 1929. Mrs. Knight used local timber for walls and hand-carved accents, as well as stone quarried nearby for the castle's foundation and exterior. For the home's interior, she toured Scandinavia to purchase 18th and 19th century furnishings. Just beautiful.
Sorry.
It gives you another view here. Look at that. That's called Fannett Island, Tahoe's only island. Over the last 100 years, Tahoe's only island has been known by a number of names. In 1866, a group of young vacationers dreamed up the first name, Coquette, a word referring to a flirtatious or seductive woman. Attracted to the island's beauty, the group found the climb to the top of the small island impossible. The island inspired other names such as Dead Man's and Hermit's Island after Captain Dick Barter. As the sole caretaker of the nearby resort, Barter lived at Emerald Bay and died in one of the lake's winter storms. Mrs. Knight's Tea House. Find a small stone building on top of the island. Built at the same time as Vikings Home, Mrs. Knight had stone hauled to the island for construction. The rustic 16 by 16 foot house served as Mrs. Knight's tea house. Visited only a few times each summer. Yeah.
Where are they? All right, I'll see you guys. Bye. Come back, pick me up. I'll hang out with you.
Okay, thank you, Robin. Thanks.
The Hermit of Emerald Bay, an eccentric caretaker, Captain Richard Dick Barter found his way to Lake Tahoe in the 1860s. Barter spent the long winters in Emerald Bay as the sole caretaker of a summer villa owned by Ben Holliday, Jr. Originally an English sailor, Barter was known to row all the way to Tahoe City to visit the saloons. On one such trip in 1870 nearly killed him. While rowing home, his small dinghy capsized in a sudden winter storm. 65-year-old sailor tied himself to the dinghy and rode out the storm. Afterward, Barter is said to have amputated 2 of his frostbitten toes with his carving knife and saved the toes to show visitors. Look at that. And I don't know if I can see the tea house down there. Perhaps I can.
Do you see right now? Isn't it pretty? Oh, go ahead.
No, maybe not. All right. Little closer view. All right, folks. So that's your That's your tour of Inspiration Point. Hope you enjoyed it. Just beautiful.